All right. So this setup is going to be really similar to the upstairs hold, and it's going to be really similar to if you were to do a reading hold. I think the reading hold is better. I'll explain that a little later, but the setup is the same. I just picked this one. Or pretty similar, I should say. There's a couple things that are different. So one big thing, I'll start here. If this is your bomb site, you're going to have someone playing off of this reinforcement. This is going to block your angle to the window jump in. The left side is so if they actually jump in, you can kill them. You can kind of play back over this way if you think they're pushing over here. It allows you to back up from the stairs and get behind this. It lets you play from all the way back here on the window. Gives you a lot of different things to play around to help keep the plan from happening here. The most common thing you'll see is the red control and this window control. We're trying to execute like playing right here or even like playing right over here. That's like the most common thing you'll try and see against this. So you're gonna have someone playing here. Cade might be your best bet just to get all the rotates and stuff done. You can get the hatch, which this will be reinforced. I'll explain that a little later. All of this, only one reinforcement here. You can reinforce this off, but just so like to watch it like white creep. But we should have barbed wires and a beeper for this. I'll explain that a little later. So your first position, mining. Second position is going to be in the reading room right now. You're going to see this rotate. That is so you can contest the jump in or the walk down from the stairs. You got to be careful of people sitting on these stairs when you do this. You should test the waters a little bit with a jiggle first, figure out if it's safe, and then go for it. But this rotate specifically. You can also run up along this. This is how you're going to counter the plant here and the plant there. That is like, or you could get your K to C4 up and over, but this is one of the best ways to do it, is just have someone sneak through here. Sometimes it's with rush planting or something like that, just running through here really quick and just take the gunfight, kind of just hop out. You have this rotate to play around, that way you can hold the cross from your mining player on anyone pushing these white stairs. So if someone like your reading player holds right like this, and your mining player can then play right like this, and either of you guys can play off each other's contact. So if they take the gunfight there, then you can peek out and swing, or if they take the gunfight onto this guy, which is probably better, is to have this guy fight first, then that person can swing close and get the gunfight. The person swinging close will have a better chance of winning the gunfight while they're looking that way, and that person will have a more likely chance of surviving the gunfight if you're fighting this. So you use that person as bait normally. Pretty simple. Another thing, I know you have the rotate right here. This is horrible. Having to crouch through it takes way too long. So you're gonna have your rotate right here. You're technically, the pillar will, or I guess your reinforcement right here will save you from being able to run through like that. But if they run a Habana or Ace and they get that open and force you off, you can no longer go this way. So it's nice to have this. You have more cover using this, and you can sprint through it much quicker. So this is one of the things that will be different for if you go reading room. This will be reinforced to go reading room. The reason is you will have someone playing in train still. However, their point is not trying to hold this site. They don't have to hold this at all. So there is no reason for them to need to contest the window jump in. So you can completely reinforce this off once you back up and give the space. Another thing that's different because of this bomb site is this being reinforced. Again, your person right here is going to be giving it up. So there's like not really a reason for you to reinforce that. It's going to be given up anyways if you're going reading. So this is like a mining specific setup. You're going to use this reinforcement, and that is going to be unreinforced. So you'll swap them out if it's reading. Let's see here. Again, reading player. No matter what, either bomb site, you can have a reading player. You can have someone playing around white stairs. You can have these crazy long angles that I forgot to make to watch your pillar walking. Anyone walking on pillar trying to go through the doorway to get to site, you can have an angle on that. If they do make it past that, you can just kill them at the walk-in. Or if you don't make the holes, just kill them at the walk-in. Not a big deal. You're going to see upstairs, pretty much completely the same. You're going to have your Aruni or your DMR right here. You're going to have your freezer player that's also in charge of this space now, just because you're a little more spread out. And then you're going to have, ideally, your Azami, your Echo, your Tachanka. Any of those ops here would be really good just to stall for time and ticket. Azami, again, still by far the best. We'll let you actually go into it. This gets reinforced. Azami will get that in the hatch. The freezer player will get those walls right there. And then your Aruni, or whoever you have, will get that over there. These vert holes, if you have an Azami, can help with the rush. If you don't have Azami, maybe don't make them. Because playing this far away from your position is not ideal. So you're gonna have 3 people upstairs. You're gonna have your cigar lounge, or I guess your Azami playing in the washrooms all the way over to the cigar lounge. You're gonna have your freezer player, this time spread a little thin. You're also in charge of your top white. This open. And then you're going to have your DMR or long-range person over here to hold this. Now, the point of this bomb site isn't to hold to the death. The idea of this bomb site and for reading is to peel. So once they start working upstairs control, your best way down, Azami has to find a way to either go through freezer and back up and go to the hatch or the stairs. And then this player obviously can, most of the time, pretty easily just kind of drop right here and go to the door, or if needed, they can take the gunfight over here and go this way. You have a lot of options. Your freezer player, probably go to the hatch. Maybe you'll go to the stairs. If this is all free, you know they're trying to hit site, I mean, playing these stairs is really good. Or if you know someone's trying to come up white, you should have barbed wire for this. Barbed wire beeper is a must. Knowing if they're walking on those stairs is very important, including brown as well. Actually, white and brown are very important to have your barbed wire and beepers on, because if they walk up brown and you have someone playing here and they're careless and then boom, they're dead to that down there, that'd be bad. So you need some sort of way of knowing if they're going to be there or not. Let's see here. This should all be open. So you can contest freezer player Azami. It's pretty much the same, not too much explaining needs to be done. One thing is this is normally reinforced when you go upstairs. I don't think you'll need it too much because this is pretty much your reinforcement. For an upstairs hold, you don't need to aggressively get through everything, and you have the ability just to back up and drop, whereas if you are the upstairs bomb site, you actually have to fight it, so having this can help with that. But in this one, you just get a fall off. So again, you're just playing 3 upstairs to start, stall for time, play the vert, keep him from coming up the stairs, and then you just peel off, find a way off site. I guess some of the differences between mining, to recap, the hatch, the reinforcement, you have to be ready to react to stop the plant. That's why I think this bomb site is worse, is because one, getting red stairs control is really easy for them, and obviously that's right next to the bomb site. So it's still hard for them to plant, but that specifically is why I don't like it. And the window obviously just cuts off line of sight from being able to actually get into it. You got to be careful of that. That's why I like reading better, is you have the ability just to back up and give them that space and then just play safe. So you can do that. That's pretty much it for this. Should cover both of them. Again, upstairs you're gonna have your Azami, you're gonna have your Rooney. Warden probably won't play that anymore. Maybe some like a Valk or an Echo. Someone give you cams. Echo could play there and have Echo drones for mining to stop the plant. Maybe give a deployable shield in the site somewhere to help them play off of. So something like that. This person, actually, yes, you should have your Azami, you should have your Rooney, probably a Cade on site. Your reading player or your freezer player will be a castle. It doesn't really matter too much between those, who you go. And your last person, low-key, probably a flex operator. I guess I don't really think of anyone off the top of the head that like you need to hold reading. A smoke might be nice just to get your smokes into this bomb site to either stall for time at the end of the round or to stop the rush plan. So we'll say your smoke goes here. They're able to make a lot of the heads or all the rotates down here with your Cade. So we have a Cade, smoke, Azami, castle, Aruni. And that's ideally who you're able to bring for this. If you have the castle, you're going to get this window. You can get, I guess, probably just that window upstairs, honestly. You could maybe do these windows, but they'll get cleared pretty quickly. I'd get that window if you were castle, actually. That's called your cave. That's your cave window. I'd get your cave window, I'd get your white repel, I would get your cocktail lounge repel. Just so you know, if people are trying to play repel and they can't just quickly open it and get a kill, get their freebies. So that's where I'd put at least 3 of your castles. Your last one you could save, you could pocket to try and block off the window in a post plant. Unlikely that that'll happen, but I would just pocket it. And that's pretty much what I'd do for this bomb site.